my studio. I'm Jessie and this is the Knit Up and Dye podcast, episode 20, Winners All Around. So we're going to start right off with, I finished my sweater! Woo! I'm so excited. It's done. It fits. I like it. I feel like this is a success. And I want to thank all of you who are so supportive, who sent me supportive messages, who when I went, what am I doing? Asked and answered questions. And I so appreciate it. I so appreciate it. For those of you who are interested in what yarn this is Shannon Shaw, her Supernatural Yarns. And this is, I Won't Deny That I'm a Werewolf, Remus Lupin. It's in her Harpy DK weight base. It is 100% superwash merino 4-ply, 250 yards over 115 gram skein. It is a hand wash, air dry. I love it. It has that soft t-shirt squishy feel to it. I brought the base in myself. I'm looking to do some dyeing on it in the very near future. I think it is a phenomenal yarn. But Shannon's colorway is everything. I love it, I love it, I love it. It has browns and blues and beiges and creams in it, and it's the perfect jean sweater as far as I'm concerned. I did make it reversible. I'm wearing the low texture side out. I'm not sure if I'm going to wear it reversible over time. I like this side out. And the neck treatment that I finally did, and I'm going to try and slide up here a little bit so you can see it. The neck treatment I did was an I-cord bind off. It does roll more to this side than to the opposite side. I love it. I love it. I think this was the perfect answer to this neckline. I didn't really want to do a rib where I was afraid it was going to clash with the ribbing that I had designed into it. But really an easy bind off. It came out beautiful. So my thoughts on it going forward, because this is my first big success, and it's a learning sweater. It's very much a learning sweater in that I want to knit more sweaters, but the information I gleaned from this is what's going to help me go forward. My armhole depth is very comfortable for me. I like the armhole depth. I could probably make it a little bit tighter, but generally I prefer to have that space. Some people, my husband, has commented that there's a little bit of a bunching here, but I don't think that that's about the armhole depth. I think that's about the overall width of the top. And it is a drop shoulder. It is allowed to be sloppy, so I'm okay with that. The neckline, I think I would prefer a slightly narrower neckline. I don't mind this shape. I think the shape is fantastic, actually. I'm really happy with this kind of angular shape that I got. But I think I want it a little bit narrower. I generally wear my sweaters without anything under them, just because I'm in the desert and a turtleneck at this point is a lot. But I really don't want the bra strap hanging out or have to feel like I wear a tank top under it. So I think I will narrow that in the future. The length, I'm very happy with the length. I'm going to stand up, it's going to cut my head off, but you get to see it. The overall length comes down, oop, it's going to be really hard to see it, just to my hip level here. I like the length. The sleeve length comes down over, just slightly over the back of my hand. Perfect, it's exactly where I want it. So overall, I think I got exactly the fit that I wanted, with just the neckline is a little wide for me. So I'm really happy, I'm really happy. I have, I posted it immediately on Instagram. The minute it was done, I pulled it on and I was like, yeah! So a couple of people did ask, I did get some private messages asking for the write-up how to make this sweater. I do have detailed notes. I'm not sure, I don't think I'm going to publish this as a pattern. I think I will probably type up the notes and put them in my project page on Ravelry, just so I have it captured somewhere so I've got a great reference point. and certainly feel free to go over to my Ravelry projects and take a look. I did label this one, I named the project 4 Rectangles of Success or something along that line, 4 Rectangles to Success, and I will try to get those notes up very soon. I may have some time to do that today, but otherwise it could be a week. If you really want the notes, if you want to be notified when I put that up there, please go ahead, send me a message, and I will notify you as soon as it's up there so that you can go and try and recreate this. I love it. I'm happy. I'm really happy. And for those of you who have listened to me lament on about my sweater curse, you must know how excited I am that I have finished a sweater that I enjoy. Pardon me. It was the perfect timing to finish the sweater. I have a road trip coming up into colder environment than here, so I wanted a nice woolly warm sweater to wear, but it's flu season, and I have valiantly fought off all the infections going around in my office for months, it seems like now, until this morning, and I woke up feeling under the weather. So, big mug of tea, a little bit of frog in my throat, forgive me, and a whole lot of joy that I'm in a big squishy wool sweater. So, pardon me. So, like I said, I have a road trip coming up, and I won't be the driver most of the time, and so I want to take some knitting with me, and I reached out to all of you folks and asked you to help me pick out the perfect travel knitting project. And I opened this up as a giveaway, a contest, and asked y'all to make suggestions, and the winning project gets their choice of any skein in my shop. And I'm also doing a random drawing for general fairness. To any of the entries will also have, from my random number generator, an opportunity to choose a skein as well. And I have spent, I closed that Friday. Thank you all, everyone who went in and made suggestions. Let me tell you, you guys are fantastic. The suggestions I got were interesting, intriguing, clever stuff that I hadn't considered. Really some adorable stuff, really cute stuff, some really nerdy stuff that appealed to me. Several of you just decided to go ahead and put sweaters in there, which scared the bejesus out of me, but that's okay. That's okay. It was a challenge. It really was a challenge. And I had great fun going down through all the entries and looking at every pattern that was suggested and determining which pattern it was going to be. And I finally selected a pattern. It was tough. It really was tough because there were so many that either I want to do or were suddenly so interesting that it was like, wow, I'd cast that on right now. So really thank you to everyone who did that. And I've packed for my trip. I have my travel bag right here ready with all of my tools in it, and I have skeined up the yarn that I chose for my travel knitting project. This is Croco Dye, forgive me, 65% superwash wool, 20% nylon, 15% silk. This is a fingering weight is 100 grams, 416 yards. The color is number 734, very creative, and it is this beautiful black with streaks of silver and some plum in there. I love it. I have had it for years and have not found the right project for it. However, the right project was suggested to me, and that project is going to be, I've already printed off my pattern. It is going to be the Reina shawl. Forgive me, there is no picture, so I'm just going to flash it so you don't get all the information. This is somebody's intellectual property. It is the Reina shawl, and that was suggested to me by Lazy Kate. That is Kate of the Chain 344 podcast. Kate, you win. I'm doing this project. I love it, and I'm really excited about it. So needles are packed, all of the tools are packed, the yarn is packed, the pattern is packed, it's ready to go out the door. I don't see anything that is going to trip me up in the pattern. I am often scared when I travel knit because I've done this before where I threw the pattern and the yarn in the bag and I left and got on the road and went, oh, I forgot this. I didn't check my gauge. I didn't, whatever. I ended up on the road with no knitting. And this one is one of those that's got some flexible gauge to it. It's kind of a knit till you run out. It does have a cast off on it as a triangular shawl. So I do need to be a little bit mindful, but it's got some flexibility built into it. I'm really excited about doing it. And I don't have any fears that I'm going to get a half an hour up the road and suddenly have no knitting with me. So let's draw the random winner. I'm going to pull up my laptop here. We're going to pop it open. Hope it works. I've had some serious technical issues. I actually ended up buying a new laptop. This one is dying very quickly, hopefully not right now. And I'm in the process of trying to transfer everything over to the new one, and I forgot what a hassle this is. But I'm really lucky and really grateful that this one is still alive for right now, and I've got a little bit of flexibility time in moving it over, whereas in the past I've had laptops die and had to just rebuild my life off of backups. This one I've got some time. I hope. Cross your fingers for me. But let's get in, let's use the random number generator and find out who the winner is. Almost there. Okay, random number generator. I'm going between post 2 and 110. Post 111 was mine, that's when I closed the thread. Post number 1 was mine, that's when I opened it up and detailed out everything else. And I'm clicking generate. The winner is post number 49. Let's go over to Ravelry and find out who 49 is. I love this. The suspense is killing me. Okay, wrong page, 49 is page 2. Sweet Peaches, okay. And Sweet Peaches is Monica in Jefferson City, Tennessee. You win, you get your choice of yarn. So Lazy Kate and Sweet Peaches, please contact me via Ravelry. Let me know what yarn you want, what skein you want. Pick any skein out of my shop and send me your mailing address so that I can get that out to you. I'm so excited. Thank you again, everyone who participated in this. It was great fun. I will most likely do this again. It was so much fun to let go of control and let somebody else choose what I was gonna do. And it really opened me up to a number of other really cool projects out there that I wouldn't have otherwise considered. Including an absolutely adorable elephant. It's a little toy elephant. I may have to make one. It was so cute. Feel free to go down through the thread, see the projects that were submitted. You might find something you love there too. Let's get this thing out of the way. Oh, goodness. All right, so today is Sunday, February 12th, which means it is the kickoff to the Intention Knitting Knit-Along. I have one sock done. Yes, I cheated. But I needed to cheat to show you guys what was going on and what the pattern was going to be. This is the Good Vibrations sock. I'm doing it on the Harmony colorway. I'm ready to cast on my second sock. I am using Hiya Sharp DPNs. I knit all my socks on DPNs. I'm not a magic loop girl. Drawing that thing through makes me crazy. I'm happy on my DPNs. And I believe I'm doing the smallest size, which is kind of unlike me. I'm usually a 64 cast on. but I am doing the smaller size this time. I'm finding that my gauge is loosening up a little bit. It might have been because I was working on the sweater at the same time, and just that I'm starting to like a snugger fit. This pattern, however, I did put out in 4 sizes. If you haven't gotten yours, please contact me as soon as possible and I'll get that pattern right out to you. But today is the big cast on, and the whole point of the intention knitting is that we are focusing on positive things, that we're focusing on keywords, emotions, ideas, and we're infusing them into our knitting. It's more of a, it's like a mantra or a meditation while you're knitting, to really focus on things that we want in our lives. For example, this is the Harmony colorway, and my focus in working on this is peace and love and serenity and quiet and just harmony in my life. And while I'm knitting each round, I either think about areas in my home that bring me peace, the love that I have with my husband, things that he says that makes me laugh. I think about color that I enjoy. I'm looking right at color. I think about the words that are key to this intention: harmony, peace, love. And anytime my thoughts start to wander, or anytime I change to another row, I force myself back to my focus. I know that when I'm knitting, I usually have the TV on and whatever's blaring out of it's coming at me. Because I'm not usually in control of the remote, it's usually zombies or some other crazy science fiction nightmare. And I have to be careful not to infuse zombies into my work unless I legitimately want to think about, like, The Walking Dead. I enjoy the show. But I have to be positive in my mindset. When I am in control of the remote, it's usually period romances, or it's other podcasts where I get to hear other knitters talk about their goals and their inspirations and their projects and their successes. And so it's very positive. It's just heartwarming and exciting. I've watched some wonderful podcasts lately. When I finished up my sweater, I got to watch a couple of different podcasts where sadly people were ripping out some work. Nathan the Sockmatician, he recently pulled back a beautiful Fair Isle vest that he's making because his gauge had shifted, and it was traumatizing. It was beautiful. He filmed the entire rip back, and we're talking about 6-8 inches of Fair Isle fine work, and he filmed the entire thing and paused through the various speed ups while he tore stuff out to kind of give us an update on where his mental state was, that he was looking forward to doing it again, that this was going easier than he thought, that all of a sudden he had regret that he was tearing all this out. It was very human and very touching. And I think when we absently knit, when I absently knit, when I'm just sitting in front of the TV with my husband and the zombies are pouring out of it, or whatever other crazy monster there is, that I don't actively, positively think about what I'm doing, and my mind wanders into darker, miserable places. When we actively focus on what we're knitting, when we actively dream about what we're doing, we put positive things and positive memories into our work. And as other people have experienced, have played with this theory and tried it, by thinking about the positive things, whether it's a gift and you're thinking about the recipient, or it's prayers, or it's just whatever positive thing in your life, when that project is done, it's infused with it, it glows with it, and when you look at it, all those memories, all those thoughts pour back through you, and you have something even more special than the finished project. So please feel free to join me. I will be doing a couple of chats throughout the time that we're doing this knit along. I don't have a solid end date for it. I will be doing a live chat today via Ravelry. Most likely it'll be over by the time this gets posted, but I will be posting other dates there as well. Feel free to join me. I would love to have you there. Even if you're not part of the knit along, come along, say hi, get to know us. It would be great to see you there, and feel free to ask questions. Ask about the mantra, ask about how to focus, ask about the knitting, the project, the yarn, whatever appeals to you. Ask about anything, we'd love to have you there. So, pardon me. I finished a sweater. I picked out a project for my travel knitting, and that's about it for progress, with the exception of one other thing. And I had shown you guys this briefly an episode or two back, I guess, where I have this lovely sock that I knit, and boy, that's a hard thing to show you just holding it up. Let me pop it on the block real quick so you can see it. This is one of my patterns as well. This is my, I can never remember the name of this pattern, my Phoenix socks, Phoenix Tears, thank you. This is my Phoenix Tears sock pattern. This is knit on one of Shannon's yarns. It is the Crucio colorway. It has a gold stellina throughout it. It's beautiful. I love this sock. I had been knitting the second one. I started these in like 2013. I don't know where the time goes. But I had been working on the second one, and I had gotten through most of the gusset and realized that I had started my gusset about that much too soon. So I had to pick back out, and I did. I tanked the whole thing back down to before the gusset so that I could knit the length that I needed to in order to proceed and end up with a matching pair of socks that fit. And I think I showed you guys that I did tank all the way back. I am again now moving forward, and I have on my needles made it back, corrected the length, and actually got through the gusset, and I have turned the heel, and I'm picking up the heel flap at this point to come back up. This pattern is worked obviously toe up, and it has a reverse French heel on it. If you like the heel flap, which I really like the heel flap, I have a very high instep, and the heel flap fits my foot better than any of the rounded heels that are out there. I have not tried the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I probably should, just for the experience and so that I know what everybody else is talking about. But I suspect, like all the other rounded heels, it probably will be a little bit tight across my instep. It's a personal preference. Feel free, if you're knitting any of my sock patterns, to substitute any heel that fits your foot. The point of my socks is that they are wearable. And if a different heel fits you better, do it. Have fun. Make it yours. I need a heel flap. And with the French heel flap, generally when you're coming down, you knit the flap, you turn the heel, and then you work the gusset down. The exact opposite is true with the toe up. We work the foot, we expand the gusset, we turn the heel, we create the flap, and we pick up along this gusset line here to complete the flap, and then return to working in the round. Exact same thing, opposite direction. And I love that it's fully reversible like that. I'm sure all the rounded heels are fully reversible. This one just happens to be my preference. So I have achieved, I have a sweater, and I have more than half of a sock. It's been a good time. It's been a good time. I'm really excited. But now I'm going to go and do my intention knitting with you all, and enjoy the chat for the day, and drink a whole lot of tea, and try and get a handle on whatever this fluey, icky thing is, and hopefully knock that out of the park before I leave on my trip. What else have I got for you guys today? Really not much. It's a pretty simple day. It's announcements and winners and just good stuff, just good stuff. So, short episode. I love you all. Thank you so much again for your suggestions, your support, your help. I do have another sweater that I'll be casting on in the very near future, and I'm very excited about that now that I've learned that I can do this. But I'm not blind, I'm not foolish, I am not thinking that it's just gonna be a success. I know that it's gonna be some work, and the pattern I've selected is gonna need a little bit of adjustment to suit me. So maybe next week you'll get to see the beginning of that. Anyway, have a great week. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.